Well, Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Bill English joins me now on the phone from Wellington. Congratulations, Prime Minister.
Well, look, I'm very happy to be the only candidate, but I'm not a Prime Minister yet. That will be sorted out on Monday.
That's right. So we still have to wait till Monday for the vote.
Well, look, the national MPs are still sorting out the deputy leadership. That's an ongoing discussion. There may be a ballot on that. So, yes, I don't become a Prime Minister till I've been confirmed by the National Caucus and then sworn in.
So take us through that. You're saying that the deputy is still being sorted out, but who would you like as your deputy?
Well, look, the National Party MPs have made it clear they want a contest there, transparent process, and we are very fortunate to have two very good candidates there, Paula Bennett and Simon Bridges, and are working hard at it.
Who's your preference, though, Mr.
Well,
English?
look, I haven't expressed a preference for it. I know both of them well. I can certainly work with both of them, and we're fortunate to have others who could have contested it as well.
Are you expecting others to throw their hat into the ring?
Well, there's no indication at the moment, no.
Would you consider anyone else? Judith Collins, Nikki Kay, for example?
Well, look, again, it would be up to the caucus, but I think the indication are they're happy with the candidates they've got. And, it is important that politicians put themselves to the test with their own colleagues who I've found are as testing as the general public are about what they want to see in leaders.
So can you take us through the process on Monday? It's not just a case of you saying, right, I want this person as my deputy.
Well, look, I think that the process has been explained. If you've got a contest, you've got to have a ballot, and that won't be resolved till Monday with respect to the deputy.
Andrew Little says there's an early election on the cards with David Shearer being put forward for the South Sudan UN job. Is it? Will there be an early election? Well, look,
I'm not in a position to give a prime ministerial view about that because I don't have the job yet. But all I would say is that the timetable of the government is unlikely to be determined by the Labor Party caucus and their infighting.
So you would leave open the possibility of a by-election and a general election in 1 year?
Look, again, I'm not really in the position to be giving, views and direction about that. I'd only repeat what I said, and that is that what the government will be on about will be stable and credible government, and the Labor Party's problems in their caucus are really their business.
But really, is that what voters would want?
Look, again, those are matters we will deal with next week in its proper time when the roles are clear.
You're about to get on a plane for Auckland. Will you be visiting Nikki Kay while you're up here?
Well, look, I've seen her while she's down. She's been down, and she seems to be in remarkable shape. She's a fit and determined young woman.
But would you?
If I have the opportunity to see her in Auckland, I will.
Would you be backing her for deputy?
Oh, look, I think that's with her health issues, it's not on her mind at all.
Of course, today it was the half-yearly opening of the books, billions of dollars more coming in, but tax cuts are no longer a priority for you.
Oh no, that's not quite the case. What we've said is at the moment our priorities are to deal with the Kaikoura earthquakes, where it looks like there'll be a cost of $2 to $3 billion. That's quite considerable. It has significant impact on our finances over the next year or two. It doesn't knock us off course. And we also want to continue to get debt dropping as it's just started to do.
So are you saying that there is still a possibility for tax cuts?
Well, when you look out with the surpluses we're forecast today, the economy's pretty strong, a bit stronger than we expected 6 months ago. It's generating more tax revenue. It's generating significant surpluses. So we're one of the very few developed countries that have the choices of paying off more debt rather than running up more debt, helping families with their incomes through tax cuts or other mechanisms, and improving our public services.
Tax cuts next year, though, Mr. English?
Well, look, those are decisions that the government will get on with making once it's sorted out these leadership issues.
What about other priorities? I mean, I understand you've already been talking to Housing New Zealand about ramping up the building program in Auckland.
Yes, we will be heading into a large-scale building program in Auckland, just to give you a sense of the opportunity there. Under the old urban plans in Auckland, Housing New Zealand's 27,000 houses could have been expanded to 30,000 on the land taxpayers already own. Under the new plan, that can go to well over 60,000. So there is a very big opportunity on the taxpayer-owned housing stock up there, which is 1 in every 16 houses in Auckland. So it's potentially a number of quite large projects.
And any time frame for that?
Well, the bid for funding is in front of the government now, and we'll work through that as part of the budget process.
Finally, Mr. English, did you expect today to turn out the way it has?
Oh, not quite, but there'd been strong indications of support in the process with the caucus. I've spent a lot of time with MPs, getting a pretty good measure of that. But look, I think it's a tribute to the other candidates that they can see the discussion's been had, the result's pretty clear, and that gives us a great basis to move on from the somewhat dramatic departure of John Key.
How do you feel? Excited? Relieved?
Well, certainly excited. I mean, it's just an amazing opportunity because New Zealand has so many positive choices, and these are arguments worth having, and I really want to be part of it, as do my colleagues.
Bill English, thanks very much for your time.